Brett. Gonna give you a quick little review of the moving company that I used from shipping all my stuff from Hawaii back to California. We went with a company called Cardinal Movers, and originally got a quote from them. Dealt with a guy named Shan. He was a super good guy. He was real quick with getting back to me with whatever questions I had, and he was good customer service. Quick and dirty, real quick. So we shipped 2 twin beds, a king size bed. The 2 twins had a box, not a box spring, but a frame, like a headboard and stuff. They both had those. So 2 twins with the headboards and everything. A king size mattress with just the frame, no headboard or anything. We had a dresser that was, pretty large. And then we had 2 end tables. We had a round dining table and 7 boxes and a mirror that was a pretty good size. And I think that's it. Just a little bit of stuff we had shipped, and it was like $23.64 from door to door. So from Hawaii to my place up here in Northern California, which is about 122 miles north of Oakland. So we locked down a $100 deposit and we get the move going. So we select a date to move. Oh, and we shipped our cars with these guys too. And they did an awesome deal. I got it for $870 from the Big Island to Oakland port instead of $1070. So when I shipped both my cars back to California, it saved me $400. So definitely, if you're just booking only autos through these guys, do it, because they can save you $200 per car, and it's a pretty good deal. So we get the deposit going, we set a date, and we pack up our stuff. I come back to California in December, so does my wife. Then she flies back and takes care of wrapping up the house and meets the movers. So the movers come January 9th, and they show up, and my wife had already everything boxed and pretty much wrapped, so they were pretty stoked. So they picked everything up and went over the list. They stickered everything. They had a sticker with like a number and a barcode, and they scanned everything in. They had an itemized sheet. My wife had to give at least 60% down that day on the move, and then you paid the remainder when you got your stuff on the other side of the move. So she wrote them a check for, I think, 60% of whatever it was, and then they took our stuff. Boom, everything's good. Excuse me. So cut to, that was January 9th they came, and then we get home, and about February, the beginning of February, we get a phone call. Hey, this is the movers, and they were city movers. So in California, the Cardinal Movers in Hawaii, they must subcontract out different companies or something, because it wasn't Cardinal Moving Services, it was City Movers that got a hold of us out of LA. Lady on the phone said, hey, we need to confirm your address. So they confirmed my address, and they said, the movers are going to be there in about a week. Okay, cool. So a week goes by, they give me a date, or a week didn't go by. The lady said the date would be between February 8th and 12th, I think it was. Something like that, I forget. So they call the day before, on a Sunday. The driver for City Movers calls and says, hey, gonna come up with your delivery tomorrow, you're gonna be there? Yes, I am. And he says, okay, now we can't drive the big truck up, so it's gonna cost you an extra $300. So just to let you know. And I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I know there was a shuttle fee. I read that in the email that I got. I knew there would be, there's a chance of a shuttle fee if they can't bring the tractor trailer up. So I asked the guy, I'm like, why can't you bring the big truck up? He says, well, CHP said I can't drive it up. You can call them yourself and check. So I went, all right, well, whatever. I'm not paying the $200 because I already paid you $284, something like that, for the delivery charge to bring it to my house. So I've already paid for delivery. Now I got to pay, they want another $300 more. So I said, no way. He says, okay, we'll call the office. So next morning I call the office in City Movers, which is in Los Angeles, get a guy on the phone. I explain the situation and say, hey, the driver was trying to charge me $300 because he needs to get, there's a shuttle fee and he has to rent a smaller truck. Guy on the phone says, all right, let me call the driver. I'll call you back. Doesn't call me back for about an hour, so I get kind of antsy because I don't want to get stuck with paying $200. So I call back. I talk to a different guy who then says, why don't I put you on hold right now and I'll call the driver and see what's going on. So he calls the driver while I'm on hold, then gets back to me and says the driver says the same thing. CHP says no. Well, I went on the CHP's website and Caltrans, and they both said that you could fit a 64-foot truck, is what the guy said on the phone, up the coast. And it's California Highway 1. It's a windy road, but dual tank gas trucks, I mean 74-foot plus, drive up here, you know, nightly to fill our gas station. So you can't tell me the guy can't make it. So the driver says that, and then I explain to him that, hey, I checked it out and it says you can go. So he relays that back to the driver. Then the driver says, well, I'm already getting a smaller truck for other deliveries, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So I tell the salesman guy, I'm not paying for this because of your driver not wanting to drive a big truck up here. You can make it. It says you can make it. I'm not paying $200. So that guy goes, you know what, whatever, we'll just waive the fee. So while I'm on the phone with that guy, I get a voicemail on my cell phone. And so I go, all right, dude, cool. Talk to you later. Hang up. I listen to my voicemail. It's the original guy calling me on the voicemail and saying, unfortunately, we can't help you out. You're going to have to pay the shuttle fee, and it's on your email. And give me a call back if you have any questions. So I called him back, and I said, hey, dude, I just got off the phone with the guy that said he's going to waive the fee. He doesn't care. And this guy was apparently the manager at City Movers, the highest up, and he said, no, you got to pay. I said, well, that's bullshit, because you can make it up here, and the driver doesn't want to drive the big truck up, and he can. And just because he doesn't want to doesn't mean I have to pay $200, $300 extra more. It was $300. And so then he goes, well, I can knock $100 off and make it $200, but that's the best I can do. I go, that's bullshit, because you can't do that. You can't charge me for a shuttle fee when your driver just doesn't want to drive a bigger truck. He goes, well, ultimately, it's the driver's discretion, so I'm sorry. So we kind of do this back and forth about how unfair it is and things like that, and he's like, yeah, well, sorry, whatever. And I go, well, what are my options? And he says, well, your first option is to have the driver bring your stuff back to the warehouse, and we'll charge you storage fees until you can come pick it up. Number two, you can pay the $200 I'm offering and get it delivered to your door. Or three, you can meet him in Santa Rosa, California, which is I think like 44 miles north of Oakland, and I'm still another 70-something miles up north. So a total it's like 122. I'm doing 60% of the load. So he says you can meet him in Santa Rosa because that's as far as he can go with the big truck, and you can offload your stuff into your truck or rent a U-Haul or do something and do it that way. I go, okay, well, if we do that, do I get 60% of my $284 that I already paid for delivery back? And he said, let me check. Hey, puts us on hold, then comes back and goes, no, you can't get any money back. So then my wife chimes in and goes, hey, if it's up to the discretion of the driver to charge us $200 because he doesn't want to drive, then whose discretion is it to give us the money back? Guy puts us on hold, comes back and goes, you know what, we're going to waive the fee. We don't normally do this, but we're going to waive the fee. I said, cool, man, that's awesome. I shouldn't have to pay it if your driver's being picky. Thank you. Hang up the phone. And then they're supposed to be delivering about 11 to 1 or 11 to 2. They end up showing up about 5:30, 6 o'clock in a City Movers box truck. So they didn't even have to rent one. They had one. So what they're doing to these people is they're saying, hey, we can't drive a big truck up. You got to pay more money. And they're just raping people. They're fucking crooks. So I was floored when I didn't see a rental U-Haul like they said they had to go rent a smaller truck. They actually had one. So they're just scamming people. So that sent me over the edge. I get my stuff. There's a few dings and dents, but pretty much everything showed up and nothing was broken. But there were dents in my furniture, but I was like, whatever. I'm so over this move that I don't give a fuck about these things. So long story short, Cardinal Moving Services is good until you get to the mainland. Then it's trash. So don't go with them. It sucks. Shan was a great guy. He was really nice. The Hawaiian movers were excellent. Everything on the Hawaiian side was awesome with Cardinal. It's when you got to the mainland, when they dealt with the City Movers, did it suck. It was stupid. And they're crooks. And I don't ever want to fucking deal with them again. So, long story short, don't go with Cardinal. Find somebody else. Don't go with Cardinal. Don't go with Hercules. You look on the Yelp reviews. There's like 4 different names these guys had. We went with Hercules a few years ago, and we had issues with them losing stuff and then never you know, giving us any compensation for that. We lost a whole entire box of baby. It was like baby clothes and my son's toys and stuff, all gone, and they never did anything about it. So they just constantly change names every few years because they're such fucking horrible business people. But I got a good guy, Shan. I can't thank him more. He was a good guy. If you're just shipping your car and you want a good rate, go with Cardinal because they get a discount and you can save like $200. So go with Cardinal if you're shipping your truck to or from Hawaii. Just don't do your household goods with them. You definitely get what you pay for, and it was a fucking nightmare. So anyway, haven't been doing much videos lately. My truck is in the shop and it's getting the rear end rebuilt and stuff, so it kind of sucks right now because we're down to one car and kind of broke at the moment too, so not really going to make any videos anywhere, so that's why I haven't been putting any out. But don't bail on me. I'm still making videos. I can't wait to get my truck back so I can start actually going, getting out and about and doing stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, man, call me what you want, but don't call me late for dinner. Peace out.